Hello, players of Where Winds Meet. I'm Lemon Mouseman. I'm a lover of open world games in China. So when I played the game, I was totally captured by everything in the Revelry Hall, the flying dance, the music, the conversations, the atmosphere, and the details in the environment. The music especially good, but what's the story behind the lyric? So I did some research and trying to find out the stories and interesting things behind it. If you are interested in the song, its lyrics, and the associated backgrounds and the lore, you might want to check out this video. Let's go through it with subtitles, and let's start with the beginning of this cutscene. Well, you might wonder, what is this? It turns out the lyric was based on a poem called The Moon Over the River on a Spring Night, written in the 7th or 8th century during the Tang Dynasty in China. Well, it was slightly modified by the studio, but let me say something more about this poem. This poem was originally written by a very famous Chinese poet in China called Zhang Ruoxu during the time of Tang Dynasty. Naturally, the first question would be, what does this poem want to say? What kind of feeling did the poet try to express here? Well, the theme of this poem are actually complicated. It at least covers two things. First, it's about a feeling of missing someone you love. Well, the poem generally depicts something like this. A man was traveling alone on a boat. He drifted along a huge river, traveling to a place where the river was about to join the ocean. So the landscape before him was really broad. Well, when you see such a scene during your solitary journey, a flowing river, the moon, but you're traveling alone, you will start to miss your families or beloved one. Second, the poem is about the relationship between human and nature and the universe. Again, you're seeing the exact view I mentioned above. It's just like the feeling you have when you look at the Milky Way. A small individual was placed in the nature and the universe. That kind of feeling. This is a video on a video game, so I will stop here without further analyzing the whole poem. But moon is a very important image in traditional Chinese poem. It's usually associated with the feeling of missing someone. But I assure you that you will find that moon will be repeatedly used and appear in the following updates or DLC of the game. Next question is, why does the studio use this poem here? Is it associated with the lore or theme of the game? So Here are two prevailing theories that I believe are reasonable and possible to answer this question. Theory number one: Revelry Hall and nostalgia on the past Tang Dynasty. Probably you have learned this from other videos and game itself. The story of Young Master happened at the beginning of the Song Dynasty. This was a turbulent time, a time of changes and chaos. People were suffering, visionary people and leaders seeking a way out. Ambitious warlords are killing with each other. Old beliefs and canons are overthrown and disrupted. On the contrary, Tang Dynasty, the dynasty before Song Dynasty, was a truly great period of time. It's the most shining, dynamic era in the history of China. The territory was unified, it's grandiose, it's magnificent, its culture is relatively inclusive and diverse, but that is gone. The Tang Dynasty had fallen by internal reasons, by external forces. When a great era is gone, people would miss it and develop a nostalgic feeling about it. For example, Victorian era was gone and the people missed it. 19th century and old decent Europe was gone, and Stefan Zweig missed it and wrote a book called The World of Yesterday. Holy Roman Empire was gone, and some people might miss it. Well, to be honest, I don't know. Those analogies might not be accurate, but I just want to give you guys a sense of what I'm saying here. This is somehow evidenced in the game. Right near the main stage, you can talk to two guests. One of them said, "Spring flowers, autumn moons, the allure from the Southern Kingdoms." And Kaifeng City is an only place where you can see and feel the grandiose scenes in the shows, which is a spiritual legacy from the Tang Dynasty. So, it's yesterday once more. They also mentioned that the owner of the Revelry Hall has the royal family bloodline of Li family from Tang Dynasty. I'm not saying that the Velvet Shade supports factions affiliated with Tang Dynasty or want to revive the Tang Dynasty. This nostalgia is more of a collective mentality or collective mindset among people in this era. They really want to return to the golden old days, that magnificent past Tang Dynasty with prosperity and decency. Who doesn't want it? With this background in mind, let's read the lyrics again. A great landscape. The river rises, is flowing towards the ocean. Above the sea, there was a bright moon. Everything here is broad, spreading out, stretching towards an endless horizon. It's springtime, and the currents in the river are strong. It's really powerful and dynamic. It's like the moon was chasing after and driving the currents. It's like the moon and the river and the ocean were playing an orchestra. Compared to this, human beings are only a small tiny thing in the nature and the universe. You can only have this type of poem during very prosperous and culturally developed period of time. This poem is highly regarded in China. In China, we say this single piece of poem is on top of the entire Tang Dynasty. In Chinese, we say 乌篇压全唐. Now we probably have a better understanding why the studio is here. Since this poem is on top of the Tang Dynasty, it can definitely represent the Tang Dynasty. There's another thing. Next, the lyric says, "Moonlight cast over some people." Who are these people? These people might be those refugees from the northern 16 states lost to Khitans. You can find many refugees or settlers and NPCs in Qinghe. They wonder when they can return home. This interpretation is also evidenced by the targeted quest, Flower Spy, in the Revelry Hall. Young Master was helping to steal a secret list of spies to act as undercover in the northern regions controlled by the Khitans. So in this sense, Velvet Shade took part in the plot against the northern invaders, helping to restore orders and reclaim the northern lands. Another notable thing is the identity of mysterious women giving flower to a young master. This is probably the most confusing part in the WWM. Based on description in the game, I mentioned this earlier, the conversation of that two guests, it's pretty sure that this figure is based on a true historical figure, the Queen of the Southern Kingdom, Jiangnan Kingdom or Nantang. I will not say too much about Southern Kingdom due to spoiler concern, but one strange thing I couldn't figure out is her political affiliation. Because the secret list of spies was supposed to be presented as a gift by an ambassador from the Southern Kingdom to the Khitans to fix their diplomatic relations. Once this was done, Song Kingdom would be sandwiched by the Southern Kingdom from the south and Khitans from the north. But why would the Queen of Southern Kingdom want to help the young master to intercept the secret list? It's against the interests of her kingdom, right? Well, gamer community in China is still confused by this point as well. Nevertheless, the Revelry Shade is a mysterious spy organization. They're beautiful, they're dangerous, and they're mysterious. We just don't know. Another thing I noticed is that the main objects in the poem, the spring, the flowers, the moon, all appear in the decorations and stages. Flower, moon, spring, wind. These are the four characters that represent the four things. So the selection of the lyric is compatible with the environment and the decorations in the lore. So to put it simple, the Revelry Hall is a high-end club for upper-class people. In Asian China, these places are pretty elegant, so are the music, arts, and dances here. You can't just play those vulgar music here. In every inch and every corner, the Revelry Hall is emitting this graceful aura. I was totally captured. Every once for a while, whenever I was under huge pressure, I would come to this place just to indulge myself in the space. I really recommend visiting and exploring this area without any purpose, just talking to the NPCs in this area as much as possible, flirting with those beauties. The music's great, the decorations in the buildings are wonderful, the NPCs' conversations are interesting and compatible with the backgrounds. Their conversations contain certain hidden storylines in the Kaifeng area. It really gives you a truly amazing immersive experience. Theory number 2. Young Master missed hometown. This theory is pretty close to the main storyline. When you're at the Young Master Qinghe, you're daydreaming about having great adventures in Jianghu, becoming a formidable martial arts master, saving other people's lives, doing chivalry things. When you actually go to Jianghu, when you step into the real world, you're no longer protected. You get duped. You paid prices for growing up. Now you start to miss your hometown. All these people you love and care about, Aunt Han, Ruby, all other people you spent the first half of your life with. In Cyberpunk 2077, Dexter Deshawn asked Ruby a famous question.
Would you rather live in pieces, Mr. Nobody, die ripe, old, and smelling slightly of urine, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory, smelling near like posies, without seeing your 30th?
Live in peace as Mr. Nobody, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory. This ultimate life choice is also seen in Chinese culture, but with one difference. Chinese Jianghu cultures tends to emphasize the idea of home. In Chinese Jianghu, you always have to leave your hometown to become a hero. I don't know why. You gotta leave your hometown. Maybe because hometown is always a place that is safe and calm, but kind of boring. But hey, that's why you can grow up here safely. That's the place where your parents settle down, like Aunt Han. In Chinese ancient poems, there's always a common theme, the wanderer. In Chinese literature, we say 游子, which means the wandering man, or 游子 culture. It's a universal emotion for all these poets in Asian or medieval China that at some point in their lives, they left their hometown or traveled outside alone, and they missed their family members and wives. So picking this poem is essentially reiterating the main story of a young master. This is a major hidden storyline in Kaifeng. Another clue is that the studio modified the poem a little bit. The original sentence in the poem is, "She would follow the moonbeams to spill its light on his face." The studio changed into, "She would follow the moonbeams to spill its light on the night wayfarer." Spoiler alert, in the side quest of the Golden Leaves, at the end of the quest, a community has been rebuilt, the young master laying on the roof, with the moonlight cast over him or her and the city. The young master wondered where he or she could go when everyone he or she helped with returned to their homes in Kaifeng. You have no home in this city. This scenario fits the modified sentence. The young master was the wayfarer in the night. Lastly, some fun facts. This poem is basically known by everyone in China. It is included in Unified Chinese Literature and Language textbook in middle school or high school. There's usually a pedagogical instruction next to it saying, please memorize and recite the whole poem. While the original poem, the entire poem, is way longer than the part being cited here. To be honest, it's a torture for students whenever we see this instruction. Okay, nerdy time. There are several versions of the English translation of this poem, one by Charles Budd, who is a translator in Shanghai in early 20th century. In 1912, he published a book called Chinese Poems, which is a collection of the translation of the Chinese poems by him. In preface, he said he did all this translation during his leisure hours when he worked at a translation office in Shanghai. Oh gosh, when I walk out of the office, I don't have any energy to translate any poem. The copyright has expired, so it's all free on the internet now. And another version of the translation is by a famous Chinese scholar called Mr. Xu Yuanchong. He's a native Chinese speaker. He was excellent in Asian Chinese language. He's really an old school scholar who mastered many skills that modern Chinese do not possess. He's also excellent in English and French. My huge condolence in the world has lost such a great contributor for the exchange between Chinese culture and the world. Both versions have pros and cons. I mainly use Professor Xu's translation because his version captures the image more accurately, especially the moon. Moon was somehow lost in the first sentence in Charles Budd's translation. But Charles Budd was a native speaker, so his version might be more comfortable to read for native speakers. I know this video is really long and contains many of this nerdy stuff. Nobody asked me to make this video, but I feel like I need to do it. I am obligated to do it for the developer, for the studio, and for the game itself. They're such a great team. They made a great work. I benefit a lot. I understand that a little bit explanation might help other people who don't have the cultural background here to better enjoy the game. None of the ideas are my own. It's sort of collective efforts by the gamer community in China. The credits are all theirs. I was especially inspired by one friend I met in the game. She's also a content creator in China. I put the link to her video in the description section below. Thank you for your patience, and I hope this video can help you. Anyway, just another wonderful day for learning something useless. You will learn many useless little things in the WWM worlds. Bye.